Trump reveals a list of people blacklisted from an administration that are suffering from TSD. Can you tell our fine audience that might not know what TSD is?
Well, I would first tell them that it's TDS.
TDS.
Fletcher, who's mildly dyslexic.
Beat me again.
It's Trump Derangement Syndrome. And I have seen this up close and personal. I have a family member. And listen, I wasn't even, you all followed us during the election. I was open-minded. I didn't think Trump had a foregone conclusion from my vote. I wanted to hear everything that everyone had to say. But my goodness, I spent time with this particular family member, and he was just deranged. Like, he couldn't even talk about Trump without just becoming so, agitated, honestly, physically disturbed. I mean, it's beyond just talking about how I don't like a candidate. That's normal. Like, I don't like this guy, or I don't approve of his, personality or policies. No, it was almost on some cellular level that he had this, reaction, and it's like irrational. So for those who don't know, that is a phenomenon that Trump has. He produces very strong reactions in people who don't like him, and they're deranged because they want, like, you remember with Kathy Griffin, right? Is that the comedian with the posing the picture? With cutting off, the president's head or something. And I think he was a sitting president at the time. These are things that people don't typically do with just similar situations with politicians they don't like. So there's something about Trump. So it's called TDS. And it looks like Trump is saying there's certain people he's not going to allow to be part of his administration, as much as they may want to get back in there because they've shown symptoms or signs of this disorder.
Right. So it looks like there's some rivals with Trump Derangement Syndrome. This is coming from Red State. One imagines he must be getting requests from some folks associated with previous political adversaries trying to weasel their way into the administration. As such, he's touted his hiring efforts for the coming second term and blasted everybody for a shortlist for trying, nay, daring to latch on. As of today, the incoming Trump administration has hired over 1,000 people from the United States government. They're outstanding in every way, and you will see the fruits of the labor over the coming years, he wrote on his True social media platform. Late Wednesday evening, we will make America great again, and will happen very quickly. Then delivering the candor, humor we're all grown accustomed to. At his point, he requested some people stop trying to reach out. So this is what he said. In order to save time, money, and effort, it would be helpful if you would not send or recommend to us the people who work with or are endorsed by Americans for No Prosperity, headed by Charles Koch, which is the big billionaire, right? Dumb as a rock, John Bolton. Is that the official title? Right? Birdbrain, Nikki Haley, which what was it, ambassador to the UN, right? Mike Pence, disloyal warmonger Dick Cheney, and his psycho daughter, Liz, Mitt Romney, Paul Ryan, General ? Mark Milley. Oh, that's messed up. He did General ? Jane Mattis, Mark Yesper, or any of the other people suffering from Trump Derangement Syndrome, more commonly known as TDS. Thank you for your attention to this matter. So he's already cutting people at the knees, as the gangsters say, or would this be taking it to the mattresses? Which gangster reference would you apply here?
I mean, I don't know if I would go with the gangster analogy. I think that reading this, I'm pretty much flummoxed. I'm astonished that President Trump is so candid, dare I say, even unprofessional. This is the kind of thing that makes people so angry with him, but he plays into it. I mean, it is extremely insulting and extremely funny. I mean, he is not going to win anyone over to him that doesn't already like him. It's like he understands that. He's very comfortable with that. He's bringing back the mean tweets. I mean, this is exactly what people said they didn't like about him. And he says, you know what? I'm going to be me. And that is telling people off. And I mean, did you think this was real when you first read it, Fletcher?
I didn't. I thought it was like, well, in a sense, you can almost hear it, right? You can almost see and hear and see. All right, I see where you're going with this, but I don't know. I feel like yeah, this does sound like him. So, but it's you're almost, he goes into a sense where you're wanting to go, okay, now stop. But it has worked out. There's times when me and you have been like, oh man, don't go there, don't go there, and it has worked out. It's like he learned this lesson this time, and he knows how to go all out in a sense, and not be afraid of taking any hits. I'm officially saying this is taking it to the mattresses, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, because I think that these people are obviously trying to start trouble in the Republican Party. And I think they need to be called out. I mean, yeah, is it tactful? I would say
it's
no.
not.
I would say no. I agree. I'm agreeing with you. It's not tactful. But at the same time, does it need to be done maybe? Hey, this is a whole new world. I'm going to be like Aladdin here. It's a whole new world, a whole new, exciting things to see. So it's like, wow.
But you know what? What's interesting? What's funny about this little piece is that it's sort of semi-serious as well as being funny, because obviously this is not how you expect a world leader to talk about his or her enemies, especially in a civilized country. But at the same time, he does make it sound serious when he says, "Thank you for your attention to this matter," as though it were a real, letter. Now, It's funny, he does give a kind of appellation to each person, but the worst on the list, at least I think from his perspective, he just says the name. So you have dumb as a rock, Bolton, you have, Birdbrain, but then you just say Mike Pence. He could say Judas. He just has, James Mattis. You have to think Mitt Romney. It's too bad for me to say what I really think about you. It's like what the subtext is. I mean, to call Nikki Haley Birdbrain or disloyal warmongers and his psycho daughter Liz. I mean, wow. Right. Wow, Fletcher, I've never seen anything like this. Buckle up, everybody. Buckle up. Get on the Trump train. This is going to be, do not walk around, in the cabin while the ride is on. You might fall. This is going to be quite a ride. He's already showing that.
What do you think? Like, share, subscribe.